Why is he any different than us, man?
What's it different? Why is it different? It has nothing to do with it, but that's not why he got kicked out.
No, but that's a...
Pretend you're not Croatian for a second.
No, I'm not Croatian. I just have the shirt. And it has nothing to do with...
It's not, he didn't get kicked out because it was Jab.
Do you have the Vex?
Does it matter? He wasn't kicked out for that.
Yes, he has.
No.
That's rule number 1 to come here.
That's not why he was kicked out.
I support you on Facebook, man, but how did this...
Well, come, I want to explain to you something. Who? Me?
Not you. Do you want a hug?
I'm like thinking, why is she calling me an asshole?
No.
He's not. He's just misguided.
Yeah.
He's all right. People, you know what the problem is here today, is that people believe the mainstream narrative. You see, what he just said to me, why he's so upset, and why he thinks. He said he follows me on Facebook. He likes my stuff. Yeah. I'm just wrong about this. But the thing he doesn't know is he's just fallen for the government and mainstream media's narrative. He thinks Novak Djokovic was kicked out because he was unvaxxed. That's not why. He's fine, but it's. Yemini here for Rebel News in Melbourne, Australia, outside the Australian Open for the very first night when Novak Djokovic was supposed to play, but less than 24 hours ago, the tennis number 1 was deported from our country. So I'm here to find out from those attending the Australian Open, firstly, how they feel about that decision to deport him, and if they even know why he was deported.
Well, I think it was just a big PR stunt by the government. He made him look like dickheads, and that's it.
I think he's been made out to be a little bit of a scapegoat.
The politicians know how to play it so that, it works in their favour. They knew they could get him on that technicality and stuff like that and make him look like the bad guy when it wasn't even really the point they were arguing in court.
It is what it is.
Good decision. You happy he's deported?
The rules, mate.
Which rules?
The laws.
No. What laws?
Is there not? You have to be vaccinated to come here, don't you?
I think it was alright that he had to go home.
Why is that?
Because we all had to get vaccinated.
Yeah, I agree. I think he should have gone.
Why?
Don't know.
Because he wasn't vaccinated.
There's rules, he didn't abide by them, pay the price.
What was the rule that he didn't abide by?
The government rules of being vaccinated to come to the country.
So, do you know why they deported him?
Because he didn't meet the requirements.
No. Do you know?
The only thing I know is that he lied on his thing. That's all I've heard.
No, I don't blame him.
It's not him, is it? It's the Australian Open. He was pretty arrogant.
Oh, but is arrogant... I like it. But is arrogance what he got deported for?
No, I haven't followed it too closely, but if he was arrogant enough to lie on his visa applications, arrogant enough to not respect the rules, then...
So, do you know why he was deported at the end?
Not really.
This is what's interesting, because we're talking to people and it seems like everybody's got this perception of what happened, but that's not why he was kicked out. So originally, we'll go through it. Originally, when he got here, they kicked him out because they said that he didn't have a valid exemption. But then the federal government and the state government both conceded he did have a valid exemption. So then they changed it and they tried to tell everyone he lied on his documents.
Yeah.
But turns out the lie that they were making out to be such a big lie was like, you know when you go into an airport and you tick all the boxes and you tick the wrong one? It doesn't really make a difference which answer, it's just one of those, that's what it was. So they didn't even kick him out on that either because that wasn't really grounds. What they kicked him out on is that they believe, without any real evidence besides a comment he made 2 years or a year and a half ago, they believe that he has anti-vaccine thoughts. He believes in anti-vax ideas, and that would encourage anti-vax sentiment in the community. Do you think that's fair to kick someone out?
So it wasn't because he did bring back the rules, it was because someone thought he was gonna make someone upset.
Because he's a champion and people are going to follow his lead.
Oh, so he's like a person in the media or someone who's famous, and because he's not for it, other people will follow him. Oh, I see. Well, that's a different conversation, I suppose.
Well, 93%. So I don't know how is he going to... tell me this. Do you think... I know he's a good tennis player. Do you reckon he can he also has a superpower where he can take vaccinated people and unvax them. Is that what the government was worried about?
He's pretty clever. I would
He's
put it
pretty
past
clever.
him.
Because 93%, everybody kind of followed the media and the government narrative.
Yeah.
Now knowing that, even if you like him or dislike him, do you think it's fair he was deported? Because I got this feeling, that, tell me if I'm wrong, you could have some pretty dirty thoughts sometimes. Imagine getting into Thailand and they deport you for those thoughts you have.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Of course.
Because Novak got kicked out because he might be having bad thoughts.
Not bad thoughts.
Maybe
just thoughts different than
bad.
people
Bad.
tend to
We don't
think.
want to get banned. Bad.
Bad,
They're
man.
bad. They're
What's
bad.
bad?
They're bad. The government said they're bad.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the case. I didn't know that was he got deported because he was going to incite something. I didn't know that was the case. That's a bit of a different conversation, I suppose. That's pretty stiff.
Do you think that's fair that they can kick you out on your thoughts?
Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. Yeah, like for that, I think.
Like he can have that opinion.
So he can have the opinion, but he can't come here with the opinion.
Well, I mean, if the rule is that you have to be vaccinated and he decides not to, then he should also face the consequence.
But no, the rule is that he has to be vaccinated unless he had an exemption, and he had the exemption. So they didn't
Well,
get.
he had an exemption that was accepted by the Victorian government and Tennis Australia, but not the federal government.
At the end, it was accepted by the federal government. So it was yesterday. The immigration minister Hawke, who you just he conceded that it was accepted by the federal government.
Yeah.
The grounds, they changed the grounds.
Yeah.
So it wasn't his vaccinate. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he lied. It was that they said that him being here would encourage anti-vax.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Well, I don't think people will change their minds because he's here.
You don't think people will change his mind?
No, I think people made their mind up already.
So do you think it's fair he was kicked out then? Or do you think the government was just using that as an excuse?
Yeah, it was certainly politicized.
Do you care what Novak thinks, or do you care how he plays?
How he plays?
What about you?
I don't really care. I just wanted to see he's playing. Yeah.
Crazy tennis fans. What are you guys doing here? Are you making people smile? Do you think people need to smile now after the week they've been through here at the Australian Open?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
How long have you been in Australia?
4 years, and I love it. Absolutely love this country.
So you've been in Australia for 4 years, from Venezuela. You love Australia. How do you feel knowing that the government can deport you based on what you might think?
It's pretty sad. It is sad. Yeah.
Are you going to stop thinking?
Nope, never.
Not fair, no. I don't think it's fair, no. Because it's like their opinion, so you can't force.
We don't even know if it's his opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have the wrong thoughts. You might get deported.
I couldn't care less, man. Couldn't care less.
Really? You're here at the tennis and you don't have an opinion either way?
Hey, I go home, bro.
Oh, you work here?
Yeah, bro, I work here, bro.
Ah, you're just here for the money. But listen, be careful, because apparently in Australia nowadays they're deporting people based on how they think. Don't. Wrong think, you're out. You've been warned.
All good, man.
So now that you know all that, do you think it's still fair that he was deported?
Yeah, I mean, the information I have is a bit different than what you described.
Do you think that's a fair reason to deport someone from a country because you think you know what they think for an opinion?
Probably not then, no.
Behind us here in front of the Australian Open, you have a small contingency that are supporting the number one tennis player who was deported from our country less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah, he stood up for his rights, so yeah, that's what we need to do here as well.
I'm taking it you're happy with the Djokovic decision?
No, I'm not happy at all.
Why not? But he's such a bad man. He had evil thoughts.
What were his evil thoughts? I'm not aware of his evil thoughts, apart from standing up for free choice.
What's going on with those little caps on your head? Is that for Djokovic?
Where's yours, mate?
I'm undercover. If Novak was watching this right now, what would you tell him?
I'd probably tell him it'd be good to see you, but yeah, I don't know. Good question.
That's about as Aussie as response as you can get.
It's just disappointing when it's political rather than about, especially for us tennis fans. We love tennis, and no Djokovic. It's there's a lot of excitement missing. So
whoever wins really came second. We can say that, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, man. The greatest player of all time, Djokovic, 100%.
He probably could have stayed.
You're going for Nadal. That's why you want him out. Well, no. Be honest. You're going for Nadal, and you thought this was the only way you were going to win. You think that they deported him not because they were worried he was going to spread the virus, but that he was going to spread dissent?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think I'd get that close to the great man, but no, I don't think I would have gotten COVID off him. It's probably just as risky to get it from anyone else. that's attending, vaccinated or unvaccinated. It's spreading, and yeah.
He donated so much charity to the bushfires and stuff, and then they just kick him out. I think it's probably not fair.
I reckon there's a strong mix of people that disagree with, what's going on, but then there's a lot of people, I think it's just in the class of, I had to do it, so should he. They should be more angry at the bloody mandate than as opposed to the, one person sort of not getting away with it. He was fully exempt from it. He bloody had COVID.
How you going? You behave yourselves, guys?
You good, Yavi? How are you?
Oh, first name basis, I love it. I know what you're thinking. Avi, you're such a rebel with a cause. But guess what? You can also be one. You just got to go to rebelstore.com.au, get yourself one of these t-shirts and you can look as badass as me. You bought tickets, you were in there today?
Yep.
What would you say to Novak now if he was watching this?
Oh, I'd say just keep your head up. You just don't listen to him. Just keep going, play tennis.
I don't know what the real issue is. Maybe it's bigger than that. Maybe it's geopolitical. I don't know.
Who's he going to convince? According to their own narrative, he's so hated. Although I've been out here, people, would you have booed him?
No way, no. He's a normal person. No.
I think most people are just uneducated, read headlines and base their judgments and opinions off that, but that's the world we're living in at the moment.
Listen, I'm the capitano and I'm responsible.
What nash are you? This might explain the... What nash are you? Italian? Maltese. Are you Maltese as well? You're Italian? Greek? What is this, the whole Europe? Did you guys actually get here by boat? Oh, wow, can I see your visas? She's laughing at Novak getting kicked out, but I think we might need to get the AFP.
No,
you don't like to see? Yeah. What about you?
What, you reckon you should play?
I do.
Oh, I'm happy for him to play.
You see, thanks, mate. Most people here tonight who seem to be for his deportation, when you present all the facts, suddenly they're not so sure. In his words, pretty stiff. Yemini in Melbourne, Australia for Rebel News. If you enjoyed this report, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, share it far and wide because it destroys the mainstream media and more importantly, the government's narrative that the entire country hates Novak Djokovic. There are some that don't like him. That's because of their lies. Because when you saw here tonight, when they know the facts, they're sympathetic. Then, after sharing it, head over to rebelstore.com.au and get yourself some of the new merch. In fact, there's a couple of shirts there for Novak and the Australian clothes. rebelstore.com.au. It's your chance to not only look good, stand for something and support your favourite news network. rebelstore.com.au. Head there now.